You know, I love Dublin. I love being here in this great auditorium that meant so much to so many people. It was about 2 days ago when I was visiting with Terry Miller, and Terry came up with something. You love that, Terry. He always has that look on his face like, what did I just do? Terry said, you know, my pastor said that if you love your church, then you don't mind bringing people to church. And I started thinking, wow, now that right there is a sermon on its own. And I started thinking, you know, here we are. What brings people to Dublin? And over the years, I have loved preaching about Dublin. Dublin is one of those places that has been a whole lot to me. And I like to call it small town opportunities. There's opportunities here that you can't get anywhere else. Now, you might think that if you live in the Metroplex, if you live in a large city, that you got everything. But you don't have everything. One of the things I want to start out with is the school. When it comes to the school, if you want to play in athletics, you can play anything. Am I right, Coach? If you want to be besides sports, if you want to be in an organization, if you want to be in leadership, you can do it in a safe environment in Dublin, Texas. We've got teachers here that don't only care about the kids while they're at school, they care about them when they go home. So, what a wonderful place to raise kids. The next thing is that we have people that enjoy other people's accomplishments. Now, when our kids do good, I feel like they're my kids. I feel good about it. When these girls were doing this little cheer up here, it made me feel good that they were able to perform like that and get us all fired up. And it takes a special type of person to do that. And I'm proud of these girls. When somebody's sick, when somebody gets hurt in our community, it's not just the family that deals with it. It's not just the professionals. It is everybody turns out and they want to know how that person's doing. That's what's called family and friends coming together for the good of the community. You know, when I was growing up, I could be riding my bike on the far side of town. A lady could walk out. Now, this is before cell phones. Walk out and saying, Pat, your mother wants you to get home right now. Well, she just wanted me out of her neighborhood. But I understood that with neighbors like that, they at least knew where you were last time they saw you. So it was a pretty safe place. The other thing is that we work in a slow pace. We don't have to sit most of our mornings and most of our afternoons sitting in traffic. We get home and we get to enjoy the great things. When we walk outside, we don't get to smell the fumes of vehicles. We get to smell fresh air. We get to enjoy that. And you know, I sit there and I think about how lucky we are. We've seen UFOs. Now, there's a reason we've seen UFOs. It's because we can actually see UFOs. If you walk out, you get to see stars. You get to see things that a lot of people in the city probably never have seen. They probably just thought it was the lights from Walmart. But we're out here and we get to see this. Now in the city, you get to go to the zoo. We get to see animals in their own habitat. We get to walk out amongst the trees, amongst the wildflowers, across. We have landscapes that people drive down here to take pictures of so they can put it in the museums and their art galleries in the city. We get it every day. We get it every day. So when I sit there and think about what resources we are very blessed. We're a very wealthy area. When I think about what we do, we respect God. We respect our country. We respect our elders. And we respect those that's passed before us. You know, a lot of times when I see people pulled over on the side of the road because we're paying respect to one of our fallen citizens. You don't see that in the Metroplex. They're on their way. They're in a hurry. They've got to get to that next traffic jam. You know, I see that we still enjoy customer service. Now, some of you younger folks are going to miss out on this. But we're pretty spoiled because we grew up with good customer service and we still enjoy it today. And I want you to look around at all these these great flags that were made here with people's names on them. And these individuals have faith in our community. They make Dublin what it's all about. This is what it's all about. These people right here doing business in Dublin, still doing customer service. We still enjoy home-cooked meals. You know, I went to a bake sale, went by a bake sale in the city one time, and they had the prettiest plate of Oreo cookies I've ever seen. You don't get that down here. And when you say, yes, I made that from scratch, and everybody just kind of looks at you, but we know what that means. It means that they're going to be real good. We also have, we like visiting. We like visiting with friends. Have you ever noticed everybody waves? Waves as you're driving down the road and somebody's visiting you and they're going, who's that? I don't know. Just waving. Now that's a special time. I remember one time in high school driving along, reading these mailboxes, and I found myself waving at each one of them. So we have this connection. We have a connection of being together, of being friends. We worry about one another. We care about one another. And you know, when it comes right down to it, I thank God every night for our police department, our emergency officials, and our volunteer firemen, because we sleep good at night. Don't we sleep good at night because we know that this group is on call to make sure that our environment is safe. And it's not going to take them very long. I guarantee they're going to be there before you know it. And that doesn't happen in a lot of communities. And you know, I went to a town one time, was visiting with a neighbor of some friends we're at. And when I walked in, they said, what are you doing? I said, well, I was visiting with Mr. Johnson. Oh, is that his name? They said, how long has he lived here? And I said, 5 years. They've been here for 5 years and they didn't even know their neighbors. What's great about tonight is that we're meeting old acquaintances. We're meeting new acquaintances. We also are seeing youth that's going to be our next group coming up. And so if you don't feel good about living in Dublin, if you don't feel good about what's going on in the country, if you don't feel that this is the best place for you to raise your kids, then you need to think again. Because to me, it's like Terry Miller says, if you like your church, invite them to come see you. Come to Dublin. We'll see you there.